Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back, or it's your first time here, welcome. So for today, we are gonna be talking about some of my favorite fall lipsticks. So when I think of fall lip products, I think of three specific things: dark nudes, rusty, vampy reds, and then deep dark purple berry shades. So of course, those are the shades that we're gonna be talking about today, and I'm gonna be letting you guys know all of my favorite lipsticks, liquefied lipsticks, matte lipsticks, creamy lipsticks, in all three of those specific color categories. And of course, we are gonna be doing on lip swatches so that you guys can actually see what the colors look like on. So I really hope that you guys are going to enjoy today's video. Please let me know in the comments some of your favorite fall lip colors. I would love to know. Of course, give this video a big thumbs up and subscribe if you're not subscribed already. So without further ado, let's get into it. So the first category that we're going to be talking about are the deep nudes. Now, I love me a good nude lip. I feel like we all love a good nude lip. And to be honest, I will never forego my light nude lipsticks no matter what the season. But when it does become fall time, I do tend to be drawn towards more of like those deeper nudes just because it gives you those fall vibes and it just, you know, updates your look a little bit for the new season. So first, starting off with Boho from Nudestix. This is one of their magnetic matte lip colors. So when I think of like my quintessential fall nude lip color, this is the first lipstick that comes to mind. When I was putting all of these lip products together, this was the first one that I picked up. This is one of those lip colors that just looks so different on every single skin tone, but also so beautiful and so flattering. And like I mentioned, Boho is part of the magnetic matte lip color collection, so it is a completely matte lip, and the magnetic matte formula from Nudestix is probably one of my favorite matte formulas that I have in my collection, just because it is quite comfortable, especially for a matte lipstick. It doesn't like suck the life out of your lips, and it also wears incredibly well throughout the day. Like, it literally will just suction cup to your lips, but not in a bad way, and just not move even through eating. It definitely would highly recommend it. So like I said, no matter what this season, I will always wear more of like a light nude shade just because can't take those away from me no matter what. But I do love to update my light nudes when it comes to fall, and this Bite Beauty liquefied lip in the shade Caramelize is a great example of that. So this is of course not a super deep nude, but it's also not so light that it will wash you out, and the undertones are so pretty, and I find again very flattering on a wide variety of skin tones because it is quite neutral, but it does have those slight peachy undertones to it. And I just think the tone of it is just very fall appropriate because it isn't too light. And of course, the liquefied lipstick formula is gorgeous. You guys know how much I love Bite Beauty. Even though this is a liquefied lip, you do not want to confuse it with a matte lip product because this does not dry completely matte. It's more so just a liquefied lipstick. So it does have more of like a creamy finish to it, which just makes it very comfortable, but it is still really nice and long wearing. Next, we've got one from Maybelline, and this is 760 Gone Grey. I think a really great way to update your nude lip product for fall is by going a little bit more cool toned. And this one from Maybelline is a really great cool tone nude, but it's not too cool tone that it looks like you're wearing gray lipstick, but it's cool tone enough that it gives your look just like a little bit more of an edge. I feel like cool tone lips just automatically make you look really, really cool and grungy, and it sort of just is a nice little change than your typical warm nude. It actually is really similar to Thistle from Bite Beauty, so if you want a close-ish dupe, then this is a great option. The formula of the Maybelline lipsticks are also really beautiful. They are very, very creamy and opaque, and also more of like a semi-matte finish. So I find that that semi-matte finish is very versatile because you can sort of blot it down to make it a little bit more matte, or you can just like leave it on its own or even put a gloss on top if you want more of like a high shine finish. But this particular shade really is awesome. It has those really cool, like cool toned purple undertones that again just make your look a little bit different. Next, I've got another Maybelline lipstick to recommend. This is 560 Raw Chocolate. This is another like quintessential fall lip color for me because this literally just reminds me of a pumpkin spice latte. It's basically a warm terracotta nude, but what's really nice about this particular color is that it's not too deep, so that makes it quite wearable in my opinion, because sometimes those like terracotta orangey red shades tend to lean a little bit deeper, which is fine, but if you want something a little bit more wearable, then this is another really great option. So next, we've got an oldie but a goodie. This has been in my collection for quite some time, and they have already completely redone the packaging for this, but this is the Urban Decay matte lipstick in the shade 1993. If you're into that like 90s lip color look, then this is definitely going to be the lip color for you. I mean, it is called 1993 for a reason. It was completely inspired by the 90s. Again, this is also supposed to be a matte formula, but I don't find it to be overly drying in the slightest. It's also not a flat matte, and I find it to just be a very, very flattering deep lip shade. Next, we've got another bite lip color, and this one is in the shade Chai, and this is a really gorgeous, more like rosy tone nude. And what's really nice about this is it's another really great way to update your lip look. If you're the type of person who likes to wear corals or pinks in the spring and summertime, but you want something that has like a similar vibe, but it's a little bit more fall appropriate, this is a great option because it does have that really beautiful, like warm pink undertone to it, but it's a little bit more muted and a little bit more fall appropriate. And like I mentioned, the Bite Lipstick formula is the best ever, so you can't go wrong with this one. Next, we've got MAC Whirl, which is definitely another really great fall lipstick staple. If you really like Bite Chai, but you want something a little bit more toned down and a little bit more muted and not so pink, then Whirl from MAC is a really great option. It has the same sort of vibe to it. It has like a rosy undertone to it, but it also has a splash more brown. Not much else to say about it. That is MAC Whirl. So next, it is time to move on to the next color category, which are the like burnt, rusty, fall appropriate red. So first, starting off with a lip product that just screams fall to me, and this is the Ofra liquid lipstick in the shade Miami Fever. This is one of the lip products that Kathleen Lights created, and this is literally a pumpkin spice latte in a freaking lipstick tube. Now, I'm somebody who really loves those very bright, almost like neon orange shades in the spring and summertime. So if you're like me and you're looking for, again, another way to update your look for the fall time, if you really love those types of shades, it's a little bit more muted and it has those like rusty undertone, so it just looks really nice and like rich on the lips. Now, I am really picky when it comes to matte liquid lipsticks. I not only obviously need a formula that's going to wear well, but I need a formula that's going to be comfortable to wear, and the Ofra liquid lipsticks are one of the few formulas that I will continue to wear because I find them to be very, very comfortable and very long wearing. So the next lipstick is a color that's in the same vein of Miami Fever. This is Kat Von D Chula, and this is one of her matte lipsticks. And as you can see, it is very, very similar to Miami Fever, but however, Chula has a bit more red in it and not as much orange. So if you're the type of person who wants to stay far, far away from any type of orange lip color, but you do like that rusty red type of feel, then this is another really great option. And next, I've got another liquid lipstick, and this one is from Jouer, and this shade is called Brick. Brick is probably one of my all-time favorite red shades. It's like that perfect old Hollywood classic red, but just a little bit deeper, and this just looks so like rich and yummy on the lips. And I remember last fall I was wearing this all the time, and I'm definitely gonna be whipping it out a ton more this season. Next, I have another one of the Bite liquefied lips, and this one is in the shade Puree. This is a lip color that I really wanted to mention because I find it to be extremely unique, which is always nice, especially when it comes to reds, because reds can sometimes look very, very similar to each other. So this is sort of like a hybrid between a coral, an orange, and a red, but it also has those like muted undertones in it, which just makes it very fall appropriate. So it's not like a super bright shade in the slightest. There's Puree right over here, and even though it looks really similar to Miami Fever and Chula from Kat Von D, on the lips it really does have its own vibe, but it doesn't really look very much like them once you actually have it applied. It has way more of like a peachy coral undertone to it, but again, like I said, it is still really nice and muted. So because all the other red shades that I just spoke about were a little bit more muted and not quite as bright, I did want to include another red shade that had that touch of brightness, and that was a little bit more bam. So I thought that this Lancome matte shaker in the shade Kiss Me Cherie was the perfect fit for that, because this is definitely a little bit more of a brighter red shade, but again, it is still a little bit more toned down than your typical like bright neon in your face red that we tend to enjoy in the more summer and warmer months. This is a little bit more fall appropriate. And I just want to give some love to the matte shakers. Probably one of the best matte lip formulas if you do not like matte lip formulas. It is so comfortable. You literally do not even feel these on the lips. The only thing though is that they aren't like a flat matte. They do dry down to more of like a semi-matte finish. So that is something that you may want to keep in mind if you like something that looks more like this, that has zero shine. This does have just a touch of shine, but really not much. So lastly, it is time to move on to the final category, which are the berry shades. So first, let's start off with what I'm actually wearing on my lips right now. This is another one of the Nudestix Magnetic Matte Lip Colors in the shade Burgundy. There's not much to say about it since I already went on and on about the lip formula at the beginning of the video. Now, maybe I should have included this in the red category, but to me, I like to call this like a vintage berry shade because it almost has a little bit of those purple undertones, but also a touch of red. And I think the mix of the two really creates such a beautiful, just like wine stained color. And it is really nice and muted, which gives it like a little bit of a vintage feel. And if you like those berry shades, but you don't want something that's too brighter in your face, this is a great option. Next, we've got another classic for me. This is MAC Rebel. This is probably one of the only MAC lip shades that I've actually bought multiple tubes of because I've run out of it. I used to wear this all the time when I was like 16 years old. This is a little bit more of like a brighter berry shade, especially compared to Burgundy. And what's really nice about this lipstick is that you don't have to put it on like full out and have like a really, really bright berry lip, but you could also just dab a little bit in the center of your lips and blend it out with your finger to get more of a wash of color. You could do that with all the lipsticks, but that is something that I do specifically with this one, so I wanted to mention that little tip. Next, we've got another Ofra liquid lipstick, and this one is in the shade Manhattan, one of my all-time favorite shades from the brand. It is so beautiful. This is almost like a dusty purple. It has a little bit of like those grayish undertones, and I just think it is like a really cool color. If you want to like dabble in purple lips but you don't want to go too bright, this is definitely a really great option since again it is really muted. I feel like that's the key word in this video, but it's true, when things are muted it obviously makes it a little bit more wearable, and I think that this shade is just really, really awesome. Next, we've got one of the NARS Velvet Lip Glides, and this one is in the shade Unspeakable. This is like the perfect berry shade because it's not too pink, it's not too red, and it's not too purple. Sort of just lands right in the middle of all of those, and it just creates the most perfect shade. The Velvet Lip Glide formula is also so beautiful. It goes on a little bit glossy, but as you wear it, the gloss does sort of like fade down a little bit throughout the day, so it becomes a little bit more of like a semi-matte formula as you wear it. And because they are a little bit glossy, they make your lips look really nice and like plump and juicy, and that is why this is one of my faves. So guys, that is actually it for today's video. I really hope that you enjoyed it and found it helpful. Hopefully you found a new fall lipstick that you want to try out. Let me know if you do, and if you try it, let me know your thoughts down below and some of your favorite fall lip products as well. Give this video a big thumbs up, and of course subscribe if you're not already, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.